They had it all, mansions, Maybachs, and money like water. But at one point, something just went completely wrong. These are the rappers who didn't just fall off, they fell all the way down. I'm talking repo trucks in the driveway, IRS letters stacking like mixtapes, and Instagram flexes backed by overdraft fees. Some of them got caught up in bad contracts. Others just straight up couldn't stop blowing racks on pet tigers, private jets, and 87-person entourages. And trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for the end, because by the time we get there, the fall-offs get so bad, you won't know whether to laugh, cry, or Venmo them $5 out of pity. We're counting down 4 rappers who didn't just lose a little bit of money. They went insanely broke. Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy once lived up to his name, Trick Daddy Dollars. But somewhere along the way, those dollars vanished. By the time he filed for bankruptcy in 2019, his finances looked like something out of a horror movie. According to court documents, Trick had $0 in savings and just $100 in his checking account. No rap exaggeration, this was real life. He was basically one unexpected bill away from overdraft hell. It only got worse. Trick listed his assets as a 2004 SUV, a modest home, and a single pit bull. Not a business, not a collection, just one dog. Meanwhile, his debts totaled over $800,000, including $57,000 in unpaid child support and nearly $290,000 in back taxes. So how did a man who once ruled 106 and Park end up here? 2 words: bad business. Trick Daddy was always respected in the streets, but financially, he made poor decisions. His record deals weren't built for long-term wealth, and years of legal trouble, unpaid loans, and child support piled up fast. Add serious health issues like lupus and repeated arrests, and the money disappeared quicker than the fame. What makes Trick's story different is his honesty. He never faked being rich. He showed up to interviews in plain clothes, no entourage, openly admitting, "I'm broke, but I'm not ashamed." And somehow, even while broke, Trick kept moving, doing podcasts, opening restaurants, and stirring up online beef like nothing had changed. Trick Daddy didn't just lose money. He normalized the struggle. But let's be real, nobody chooses to be that down bad. Next up, a former G-Unit star who went from Southern royalty to begging 50 Cent for mercy, Young Buck. Young Buck had one of the hardest names in hip-hop and one of the softest bank accounts when everything finally fell apart. At his peak, Buck was the southern muscle of G-Unit. Platinum albums, hit records, features with 50 Cent, Eminem, and The Game. He was iced out, respected, and riding the wave of one of rap's most dominant crews. But behind the scenes, the money was slipping fast. By the late 2000s, Buck was drowning in tax debt. The IRS came knocking, and in 2010, they kicked the door in, literally. Federal agents raided his house and seized jewelry, recording equipment, and even furniture. Court documents revealed he owed more than $300,000 in unpaid taxes, with almost no assets left to cover it. Then came the moment that sealed his humiliation, a leaked phone call with 50 Cent. Buck wasn't negotiating, he was begging, pleading for time.
But I understand you want your money and pushing for my, but pulling and meeting your money that which I owe you.
Asking for help. 50, being 50, turned the whole situation into entertainment. Later mocking Buck's financial struggles in interviews.
And you got to stay back because your finances aren't right. You had to stay back because your management, Shad, felt that it was more lucrative for you to stay back and do the shows that he created.
The problems didn't stop there. Unpaid child support claims, royalty disputes, and constant legal trouble followed him for years. Bankruptcy court eventually ordered Buck to sell off parts of his music catalog just to survive. In 2020, he filed for bankruptcy again, this time claiming he had about $100 in cash, one vehicle, and monthly expenses he couldn't afford. The G-Unit money was gone. The fame barely remained. The finances were finished. Young Buck went from rap powerhouse to financial cautionary tale, proof that success in hip-hop doesn't mean security. Coming up next, a legend whose voice shook the industry, but whose life was buried under debt, the tragic financial collapse of DMX. DMX wasn't just a rapper. He was a force of nature. That raspy bark, the pain in his voice, the raw honesty in every bar. When X dropped, the world stopped to listen. 5 consecutive #1 albums. Over 74 million records sold. Movies, tours, global fame. At one point, DMX was untouchable. And yet, he died broke. No mansions, no hidden accounts, no retirement plan. Just debt, lawsuits, and a mountain of responsibility. DMX had 15 children, and the child support alone was overwhelming. Combine that with addiction, legal trouble, and bad financial management, and the cracks started showing fast. In 2013, DMX filed for bankruptcy. Court records showed he had less than $50,000 in assets, but owed between $1 million and $10 million. That wasn't a setback, that was total collapse. He listed almost no possessions, no property, no car, barely any clothes of value. His own lawyers admitted he had no steady income and couldn't even cover basic expenses. Then came the IRS. In 2017, DMX was indicted for tax fraud, accused of hiding income and avoiding $1.7 million in taxes. Prosecutors said he lived mostly in cash, dodging Uncle Sam while still performing shows. He was sentenced to a year in federal prison. After his release, X tried to come back, concerts, interviews, even a Versus battle with Snoop Dogg, but the money never returned. When DMX tragically passed away in 2021, reports said he left no will and very little money behind. A man who gave the world everything, had nothing left for himself. This wasn't just a rapper going broke. It was a legend worn down by fame, addiction, and a system that never stopped taking. Tekashi 6ix9ine. There's a long history of rappers talking tough and losing everything, but few crashed as fast or as loudly as Tekashi 6ix9ine. At his peak, Tekashi was unavoidable. He trolled everyone from street gangs to hip-hop legends and turned controversy into cash. Multi-million-dollar record deals, viral videos pulling hundreds of millions of views, jewelry so loud it looked like props from a cartoon. He bragged about spending millions just to stay icy, and for a moment, the numbers backed it up. But the entire empire was built on chaos. In 2018, the federal government hit Tekashi with racketeering charges, and everything collapsed overnight. The income stopped, but the expenses didn't. Legal fees exploded. His massive security detail kept billing. Cars, houses, and lifestyle costs drained his accounts fast. When he was released, the industry had already moved on. Labels didn't want the risk. Clubs didn't want the liability. Some countries reportedly refused to let him perform at all. His 2020 comeback album, Tattletale, sold far below expectations, and the hype machine never fully restarted. Then came the reality check. In court, Tekashi admitted he was broke and couldn't cover basic living expenses. This was the same man who once spent nearly $100,000 on a single diamond chain. The final embarrassment was the vacation flex. Tekashi posted photos overseas holding stacks of cash, but fans quickly noticed the bills didn't even match the local currency. The flex was fake, and the internet destroyed him. Today, Tekashi still books occasional shows in smaller markets, but the untouchable image is gone. The jewelry, the cars, the hype, all vanished. Tekashi 6ix9ine became a warning. The loudest flexer can also become the loudest broke rapper. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, click on the cards displayed on your screen to see more awesome videos, and don't miss out on the next releases. See ya!